My name is Corey Bosacki. I'm known on Instagram as Sk8Cheddar, where I have a price guide, photo gallery of skateboard decks and their sales. I've also been working at Pharmacy Skate Shop for 24 years this year. My family members tell me I'm a skate hoarder, so come on, check out my stuff. My coworker Jacob and I in 2018 kind of taking some inspiration from some people on Instagram that were making like bootleg action figures. We started making our own, but in like skate realm, and we called it Milk Saggers Workshop. And we would take existing figures that kind of already existed, but we would like reappropriate them to like match up with skaters and skate graphics and things like that. A lot of the early 90s graphics are really like pop culture based. The very first one I kind of fabbed together was actually 3 Sean Sheffys, but it was this Plan B board that Sean had with the Jungle Book characters on it. So I kind of like found these Jungle Book action figures and kind of threw it together. This was kind of like a prototype. And then we did a couple more. Kind of the one that got some traction was the Henry Sanchez had a Terminator graphic, and I found this perfect Terminator toy. And so I took the Terminator toy and kind of juxtaposed it next to the Sanchez graphic and made this one, and it just got some attention online, and then from there it kind of spawned the idea like, there's so many good cultural references we could do, and so we kind of jumped into that. I did a Charlie Brown, Dan Paterka, H Street. Obviously Plan B did a big Star Wars series, so like here's the Sean Sheffy from that with this Chewbacca figure. Mike Carroll had a Wolverine board. Sean Sheffy had a early board on Plan B with the Thing. The surprising thing was a lot of the pros actually wanted to get the figure that we made of them. Jeremy Klein, William Strobick found a Terminator one that I was selling online and then hit me up to make a custom one for Tyshawn, and I was able to just make a custom figure for Tyshawn that he gifted to Tyshawn, which was really cool. Tony Hawk purchased one on eBay that we made of him, and then he donated it to the Hawk Foundation and they auctioned it off, which was really sick. My buddy Jacob did a really funny Jim Greco one, and on the back he put a bunch of different looks of Jim throughout the years, and Jim saw it and he was hyped, but he like wrote us and he told us a couple of genres of Jim that we missed out on the back of the card. But there's a bunch of different ones like Glamour Jim, Glamis Jim, Jim Manson, Jim Valentino. We gave them all names on the back, but that one was pretty funny. So this one should be dry. Sean Sheffy Troll. Boom shalaka. Working at a skate shop now for 24 years, you would think I would have a lot of stuff, but it's like most of the stuff I held on to was before I even started working there. It's the stuff that like I have a like childhood connection to, but I have picked up a few boards over the years at the shop. This was one of the early Birdhouse Heath Kirchhardt. I think it's called like Slasher or Psycho or something, but I have a Dill or early Dill Alien Workshop. There's another Dill Flying Fish. Really skinny. An early Dill 101 with Drew Barrymore. Pop culture references on the board, you know? I'm sure Nodis had something to do with it, but it's pretty cool. This was a Carol that I actually had and skated, and I only had a Polaroid picture of it. Instagram friend Terry sold me this one. Thank you, Terry, for bringing it back into my life, but I got this one. It's like an Alfred Hitchcock like silhouette. Can you see that through the plastic? Here's like super early Andrew Baker. I think it's his first board on Baker. This was the original graphic from Baker bootleg drawn by Jay Strickland. So many boards like came into my life and then came out of my life, you know, like just buying and selling them. But when 411 came out, here's number 1 right here with Jeremy Ray on the cover. I had to go into LA and find this because the skate shop up here only rented skate videos and they didn't have a lot available. So we'd go on missions into LA and San Diego and stuff and go to shops and find that. But we found that one. That one super influenced like me and my friend Ryan. And so Team 411, we lived in the 619 area code. So we started a local video magazine called 619. We went to demos and filmed demos and things. And then the area code got changed to 760 with San Diego, and so probably not a best like branding decision, but we like flip-flopped the name to 760 and came out with some of those, and so they were pretty popular around here. And we would go to demos and we would like annoy the pros and say like, hey, you know, can you say you're watching 760 or video magazine? And they were all like super sweet and would like do it for us and stuff, but probably really annoying.
Yeah. What's up? This is Andrew Reynolds. You're watching 760 Video Magazine. 760 Video Magazine, man. Up 411.
After I made a few of those, I started working at pharmacy, and we had a shop team. And so I made the first couple pharmacy videos that came out. So this one, the pharmacy team video from 2000. Probably the most cool thing about this was Brian Herman's first video like that he was in. He was a little kid, maybe 11 or 12 in this video. But it was really crazy watching him just progress over the year or two that we were filming for this. There was one run in particular that I filmed of him behind the local Vons here, and it just blew me away like how good he was getting and stuff. And I kind of like realized like, man, Brian's really good at skating. A year or two later, we came out with this one called Next Sunday. This one had Brian, Matt Allen from Birdhouse and Foundation. Leo Romero was in this one, who lived in Fontana at the time, and Tony Silva. Brian's part in this video was basically his sponsorship, Tape for Baker. They got him on Baker. So this one's pretty cool. Yeah, Brian has like a special place in our hearts up here because he's from Hesperia. So just knowing him since a little kid, I'm an automatic Herman fan. So I have a lot of Herman stuff. So you want me to show you some of that? So it all started with this one right here. So this was Brian's first pro model board, the Herminator. You know, obviously the Terminator theme playing off his name, but so that was his very first one. He's got a little face down here. Before that Herminator board, this was a super early Baker it was an amateur board. Brian right here, they just kind of threw all the AMs on here. Knox Godoy, Evan Hernandez, and Terry Kennedy all on there. So this board actually came out before Brian turned pro. It was like an AM special. And one of the stickers, it's like a little crude drawing of Brian. This was one of the maybe second or third boards, the Katana. That one's pretty sick. The Wu-Tang, kind of giving a nod to the Gino Iannucci board. Herman neck face, Herman license plate. This one's fairly new, but Brian's super into old trucks and cars and stuff. Like a 69, it's probably from his truck. Guns in Brian. This is one of my favorites, kind of based off the Hermes logo, but Brian and his truck. This is tray flip down the Wilshire set. This one came in a couple different colors. There's like a gold version and a silver one, and it's a nod to, you know, like the Jamie Thomas board, but those are ill. An old newspaper clipping that I took of Brian and Matt. This is from the local paper here, about when they started getting ads in the magazines and stuff. Him and Matt, like super little kids, like a little there. So this came out in 02. They were on Birdhouse and Baker at the time. Here's an old Brian ad. This was in TransWorld Business actually for his pro shoe that came out. An old backside lip Herman Baker poster. Hard flip America promo poster. Kids in America promo on the other side. So these were a special Herman shoe, limited edition. Pretty sure they didn't come out with them generally, but they're like a patent leather, which is fancy way to say fake leather, I think. But maybe they're real, but I was able to get a pair off Brian, but these are pretty cool. A lot of people knew that I collected tapes and things, and a friend of mine named David, he was doing some work for Grind King. I guess he was the Grind King team manager, and he would just give me like sponsor tapes for people. Oh, here's some sponsor tapes. If you want them, you know, you can put them in one of your edits or something. But one of them was super funny that I pulled out recently was this one. It's a Daniel. The Daniel is Daniel Shimizu. And this was like his sponsor tape for Grind King, and it's like, I don't know if Grind King put him on, but they like totally missed out on him. Some other people, I mean, if they're out there, Gary Smith, if you're out there, I have your sponsor tape from Grind King. The very first video I ever saw besides Nickelodeon Skate TV, which was super sick, it was Feasters, Birdhouse Projects. This one just kind of like changed everything, kind of introduced me to skating. Tony Hawk has like a full street part in it. I don't think he skates any vert in this video, which is super sick. Willie Santos just was like amazing. Like I watched his part probably more than any person on there. And just the music from these videos, like first time I heard Pixies was on this and Steve Bear's part. And then followed up after that, it was the second video I saw with Plan B Questionable. And then this introduced me to Mike Carroll, and I just gravitated towards Carroll's part. So I'm always like been a lifelong Mike Carroll fan. I say I started skating in like 91, 92, but I really did get a couple of boards in like the late 80s, early 90s. At the Costa Mesa swap meet, I picked up this board, and it's unrecognizable now because I skated the heck out of it, but it's a Mike Carroll H Street, and it's got a picture of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, like sitting at this big chair with eating some macaroni, and I didn't know Mike Carroll. And then it was just such a coincidence when I seen Questionable, I was like, oh my God, that's Carroll. So I just been always obsessed with this board. You know, Girls reissued it, so it's kind of the new updated version from Girl. Instead of the macaroni, they put the little girl bathroom symbols down here. Here's the OG Carroll, like in all its glory, from 1991. This Carroll photo is like, to me, like sums up like all of 90s skateboarding for me and its radness. Like he's skating like the old Plan B style Barbie Air boards, wearing Javante Turner shirt. He's wearing the Airwalks. Bryce made that for me. He said it was the first one he ever printed out, so I was like super hyped to have it. I think he sells it on his Etsy store now. If you want to get it though, go support Bryce Knight. This image too is one of my favorite Mike Carroll images too at EMB. It's got the braids. Yeah, Gabe Morford shot this. Here's Carroll's cover on TransWorld, August 91. This was a program from the Venice Street Grind contest in 95, and Carroll had the back cover. This just like little program. Got his autograph, keep skating. Here's a shot of Carroll Vans ad, shot by Tobin Yelland, 1996. I guess I should show you this because this is like super skate nerd, but this was like, so I was super into Carroll. This is like the Carroll scrapbook where I would like just slice up magazines. It's like, so I could just look at all my Carroll images in like one spot. Classic Adventure ad. Old FTC ad. Early Girl ad. This is an early Reynolds like Bowie board. I gravitated toward Bowie boards a lot. He like just had some really good soundtracks and a lot of videos, and I like his music a lot, so I got this one. And then Girl came out with a Sean Cliver series called Skull of Fame. It was basically like a set of musicians just looking like skeletons, and this was the Bowie one. I was able to get the original inking from Cliver's art from another online collector. It just so happened to be maybe 3 months before Bowie passed. It's really cool to have this. I think this is the very first person to put Bowie on their board was Jason Lee. This is one of the recent reissues that Prime did, but. And then Gons did a rendition of it for Jason Lee. Jim Greco's Brand Hammers did this different Bowie era, but it's a pretty cool one. This is a Ed Templeton like drawing that he did for me at a demo up here in Hesperia. Prior to Pharmacy, there was a shop called Toss. He came through with Jeff Raleigh and Andrew Reynolds in, I want to say 96. I had an old dirty white t-shirt in my car, so I went and grabbed it, and he just flawlessly drew this on this dirty white t-shirt of mine. Signed it down at the bottom here. The demo was insane. They just destroyed these janky obstacles, and then they followed us over to the local school called Liberty in Victorville, and they just massacred that place. Andrew signed that for me at that demo. Jeff Raleigh for Flip, he signed that. Working at the shop, I did pick up a lot of posters and promo items from a lot of the brands. There's an old Chad Fernandez Osiris ad. Here's some Zero. Here's an old Zero. Jesus Saves Thomas. Chris Markovich for Foundation. Brad Staba, Toy Machine. Girl, yeah right, pretty sweet. This is a Sean Cliver like deck color palette sheet where they would like figure out what Pantones they were gonna use on printing the board. So it's like an early World Industry Day One song. It's kind of like a test sheet. Oh, this one's sick. This is Lance Mountain's company, The Firm. Bob Burnquist, Frank Gerwer, Ray Barbie. Super sick, Matt Beach. Mafia themes poster. Antoine Dixon used to come around the shop all the time. Autograph Antoine poster of his Nolly Hill Carlsbad Gap. So this one's cool. This is the day they turned Brian pro. They like surprised him at this spot with the board. Here's a little Tony Hawk Destroying America promo poster. This is an old Carroll Lakai poster. Tom Penny poster. Big frontside flip in the SXLs, which he always wore. But kind of image you don't see a lot. One more to mention is this drawers. Oh, Danny Way. Just like no George product at all, and I doubt those are George jeans, but that's a cool poster. These are some stickers picked up around SoCal. Like this one's pretty cool with Flip, Jeff Rowley, Menace. Here's a blind, funny blind one. It's like a wine bottle sitting on a bench with a corkscrew. Early Toy Machine. Rhythm, remember Rhythm? This is offset, stickers offset so bad. Tomieto Teenage Fan Club member sticker. Society Skateboards. Here's an old FTC. Carol's Shop sponsor. Ducks, cool New Deal, like Dave Duran era. Drawers, stereo. Orion trucks, which is trucks I used to love to ride. Old Rudy Johnson, girl. There's the guy Mariano. The old birdhouse. Sluggo. Oh, wow, here's my club card from the Tomieto Teenage Fan Club. Picture of me as vampire. Got some skate clothes in here. This was from the first demo I ever went to. I didn't get the shirt at the demo, but I picked it up recently and I was just blown away like that somebody had it, but this is Foundation 1994 demo. Me and my friend Jerry attended the Palm Desert first stop, and I'll never forget that day. It was the day O.J. Simpson took off on the white Bronco on June 17th, but seeing Kirchart, Frank Harada, I think Leigh Peterson was there. It was like pretty much the Foundation team, but Kirchart just landing tricks. Like we came away from that demo like, man, these are what real pros skate. Like we gotta start landing on our boards more, you know, like actually committing to these tricks. Palm Desert, I don't even know how we knew about the demo back then. There's no Instagram or anything. Another one I picked up fairly recently, but couldn't pass it up. It's the 101 Gabriel versus Crusher. Crusher's like a Looney Tunes character that like Bugs Bunny like wrestles. This is like back like 101 Wrestling Federation. This is the old ad right here. And the board right here, that came out in 91. Mark McKee art. Homemade Mike Carroll shirts that I made with the picture from EMB from Morford. It's a cool like Jason Dill all over sublimated print that came out on DVS, shot by Michael Mealy. Here's an old Baker shirt. Baker skateboards for bad people. This is Jim Greco. Some pants I was super stoked on to get. These are like the unofficial Muska like pro model pants on TSA. They're just like super baggy cargos. The only thing they have is a TSA label on the back pocket, but this is the fit of 2023 also, full circle. This is a Mariano, let me take it out. This is a Mariano shirt from Girl. And I must have bought this and just put it right in there. And Girl came out with the board too. Here's the board. Yeah, so that board is based off this 91 Blind Jason Lee with artwork by Sean Cliver, but Girl gave a nod to it with that Mariano. Box after box, my wife's like, when are you gonna get rid of all this stuff? My family is like conspiring to take over this room, turning into an actual real bedroom, so thank you for looking at all this stuff.